All right, today on the podcast, I'm joined by Gary Lavariere. He's the publisher at I didn't ask you this, is it Berkshire or Berkshire Eagle?
Berkshire.
Berkshire, okay, like Berkshire, okay. He is the publisher at the Berkshire Eagle in Pittsfield, Massachusetts. The Eagle is Berkshire County, Massachusetts's award-winning source for local news. Gary, nice to meet you, man, and thank you for taking the time. I appreciate it.
Oh, absolutely. Nice to meet you as well, Paul, and thank you for having me.
Yeah. Um, I kind of like to start the podcast normally by setting the stage. It's our first time meeting. If you could just tell me and the audience a little bit about your background and your kind of career in local media, what's led you to where you are today. I'd love
Yeah,
to hear that.
absolutely. Yeah. So I started back at the Berkshire Eagle about a decade ago in 2016. Started fresh out of college. I became a consumer sales manager. So got hired. I think I was either employee 1 or 2 following the change to local ownership. So the
Hmm.
Berkshire Eagle was owned by Digital First Media prior to 2016, May of 2016, and I started there a couple weeks after the purchase happened. I was at the Eagle for about 2.5 years, and in that role, in that capacity, and at the Eagle, we launched our pay during that time. I remember going, being a fresh out of college student and news consumer, and saying to my boss, "How can we sell subscriptions if we give everything away online for free?" And he said, "Well, you make a good point." And then so we kind of did some consumer research, marketing, and launched a very lenient paywall at the beginning, which has since become stronger and stronger. And a significant revenue stream from the Eagle. But after about 2.5 years, I got a call from my former boss, Chris Blazer, at the Las Vegas Review Journal, which called me kind of out of the blue, said, "Hey, one of my friends met you at a conference, and I'd love you to move to Vegas." And so that was an interesting call. He flew me out, I think, for 3 or 4 days, and I decided to join the Review Journal.
Hmm.
And he had a similar mission. Chris had started, I believe, about a year before that, and wanted to launch a digital subscription and paywall at the Review Journal and wanted me to lead that. So moved out to Vegas, lived out there for just over a year and a half. I had a great time there. It was a lot of fun. And then started looking back to the East Coast at where I wanted to go. My wife and I got married out there and decided we would move back to the East Coast somewhere right before the pandemic. So we had that on our mind, I guess, somehow. But we moved back, ended up back at the Eagle. We're looking at a number of locations, but the Eagle happened to have a position open as the director of audience and revenue and technology at the Eagle. And so I moved back. I'm originally from Berkshire County, and so that made a lot of sense for me. When I moved back, the pandemic began 3 months later, and we had to make some difficult decisions. So we transitioned from a 7-day daily paper to a 5-day, and then about a year later, sold off our Vermont properties that we owned and became just the Berkshire Eagle, basically. And when we did that, my good friend who had hired me back at the Eagle and was our chief revenue officer ended up moving with the Vermont publications and becoming their president and publisher. And then at that time, I became chief revenue officer. And fast forward about 4 years, I'm now the publisher of the Berkshire Eagle.
Very cool, kind of winding journey there.
Certainly a winding road.
Yeah, you and I we're on similar going through some similar stuff. My wife and I relocated. We were in Denver forever, and we moved out to the western part of Colorado
Okay.
in December 2019. So we're like, yeah, we're
Exactly. That's
gonna,
exactly
yeah,
when I moved back to the Berkshires. Literally
yeah. We
the
were.
same
I
exact time period.
As you were saying that, I was like, "Oh, we're gonna move here. We're gonna build this awesome community, get out and meet all these people, and then yeah, the world happened. Anyway, just
Yeah. Right.
sidebar. That kind of
Right.
cracked
Right.
me up.
Right. Right. No, absolutely.
Yeah. So you talked a bit about the Eagle. It used to be owned by a different company, went all local. You launched the
Yep.
paywall, sold out the Vermont properties. Could you talk just a little bit more about the Eagle as an organization as it is now?
Sure.
Like what formats do you go out in? What are the communities you serve, stuff like that? Just a little frame that
Absolutely.
out a bit.
So our audience is primarily Berkshire County, and a bit of the New York and Connecticut adjacent areas, and a bit of Vermont. We're in a tri-state area, so we're very
Hmm.
close For me, I can drive less than an hour in any direction and be in New York, Connecticut, or Vermont. So we do serve a bit of that community, but primarily our audience is in Berkshire County. The Eagle has evolved quite a bit over the last decade and has become, outside of selling our Vermont properties, has become a much larger media organization. When it was first purchased in 2016, it was the Berkshire Eagle, the Bennington Banner, Brattleboro Reformer, and Manchester Journal under the umbrella of New England Newspapers Incorporated. After selling the Vermont properties, we've kind of launched more publications at this point. So we have the Shopper's Guide, which we acquired in 2018, which is your traditional print shopper. We also launched a Berkshire Business Journal that is, primarily focused on the business community, comes out monthly. We launched the B Magazine, which is a very high gloss, highly successful publication that we launched a few years back, along with Berkshire's Week, which is a website, kind of a things to do arts and culture website, and a digital marketing company called Talon Media. So the Eagle has evolved, that none of these were part of the portfolio 16, but the Eagle itself has grown considerably. So we are, I think, one of few local publications that is growing our subscribers year over year. In the past 5 years, we've grown to nearly 20,000 total paying readers between our print subscribers, digital subscribers, and single copy. We're right around that 19.5 mark right now. So that has grown from about 16 or 17,000 from where we were about 5 years ago, and more subscribers and paying readers than we had when the company was originally purchased back in 2016. So it's been a ride, but we've been very focused on investing in journalism. Our belief is that you can't sell the content without strong journalism. Obviously, you look at some other organizations, which that's probably the easiest place to cut. And we have remained steady on our investment in content and have invested more resources into content over the last 10 years.
Awesome. Very cool, man. I might cut this part out actually. But
Sure.
when you were mentioning the Vermont properties you sold off, I definitely know who bought them. He was actually on the podcast before when you said the names of them.
Really?
Yeah, Jordan Breckenzer, I think Vermont.
Oh, yeah. He was
Yeah,
on the podcast?
yeah, he was. As soon as you
Yeah.
you said that, you said we sold these to the Vermont. I'm like, it couldn't be him. And then you mentioned
Yeah.
the names of them. I'm like, that's man. We got some synchronicities going in this episode. It's kind of
Yeah,
funny.
yeah. Jordan's a great friend. Literally, he called me 5 minutes ago.
Really, that's awesome,
I looked over my phone. My phone's ringing. It's Jordan. Yeah, yeah. We
dude. We got
talk.
some.
We're still in a large managed services partnership with them, where we do
I
their
see.
printing, we do their back office, we do their classifieds, we do their ad design, customer service. So we're still in touch. I would say 3 to 4 days a week easily
Wow.
on the business side. Yeah. So we're still very much in touch and very much friends.
Yeah, that's funny. Like I said, I'll cut this out. It's just like we got some weird psychic connections going on here. Yeah, he was
Yeah,
on the
no, that's great.
podcast. He was on the podcast and talking about the prints, the issues they've had with USPS getting stuff delivered
Right.
out there. He
Yeah,
we went
yeah. They've
kind
got
of
many challenges.
yeah, we
We
kind of
oh,
had some deep
yeah,
dive on that. Yeah, on the
yeah,
show.
that's great. Yeah.
So yeah, I'll send you a link after we're done. You can, if you want to go listen to him on the episode. Okay,
Oh
I'll
yeah,
get back.
send me a link for sure.
I will. I'll get back into kind of my questioning now and stuff.
Sure.
Cool. So one thing I like about you, I have people from all over local media on the show, journalists, editors, publishers, and one thing with media companies for a long time, there's the business side and the editorial side. And you started in sales, you're a publisher, you launched a paywall. I'm a business guy. I like talking about that kind of stuff. And you have a background in revenues. I, you mentioned launching the paywall and having some success with that for the Eagle. I'm just curious, what else are key revenue drivers for the Eagle? You obviously don't have to share numbers or anything like that. I'm just
Sure.
curious if there's any experiments you're doing or what's hitting the cash register. And I love getting that out there for other folks in the industry. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And yes, business guy from the business side, now
Yeah.
overseeing obviously the editorial side as well. Key revenue drivers. So, from a subscription standpoint, that makes up about 40% of our revenue, roughly. Digital subscriptions make up of the total subscription revenue about 30 to 40%. So total subscriptions and what we call single copy revenue is about 40%. We have another 30% that comes from advertising. And so that's print and digital advertising. And then our other 30% is mostly commercial printing and managed services for other publications that we do. We have still a very large commercial printing plant that is
Mm.
literally right below my feet. We have two presses. We've invested in that. We believe that being the last man standing, if you will, in New England will benefit us in the long run. We've almost doubled our commercial printing business over the last 5 years from press closures and winning new business. So that's been a significant revenue driver for us. Digital subscriptions, of course, are kind of our gold standard. Our North Star is growing digital subscriptions. And then digital advertising. I mentioned we launched Talon Media, which is a digital marketing services company. We've been, highly successful with growing digital revenue offsite, and bringing in some clients not only in Berkshire County but outside of Berkshire County as well.
Very cool. I I mean, it's interesting the advertise kind of the marketing side, the advertising side. I just had a kind of a consultant, I guess you could call him, on who was talking about, that was a big kind of buzz thing in the industry like 10, 15 years ago, of like a newspaper can do a side marketing agency or something like that, and a lot of them just, it
Yeah.
was too much expertise, which leads me into kind of the next question I had. His argument was that a lot of these tools, these AI tools and everything, are going to make that a lot more doable for people now. But in the broader scope, we were just talking about printing presses.
Yeah.
So let's go the opposite end. Let's talk about AI, because I'm legally required to. What's
I-
in 2026? Yeah, I just like getting everybody's take on it, and if and what tools you're using, etc. How you're looking at that massive
I-
industry unfolding. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I think you are legally required now to
I
speak
know.
about
I've been
AI.
saying that all the time. I've been saying that all the time. I got to cut it out because the listeners are going to get tired of me saying it. But yeah.
It's yeah. So and funny, I was just so I graduated from the executive program for CUNY last year, and I was just at a conference. They have an annual on conference, and I think almost every roundtable discussion was about AI.
Mm-hmm.
So my take on AI, so we use it. We use it in our newsroom. We use it on the business side. We're using it for user behavior, personalizing the experience on the site, all of those types of things. My view, though, is more pessimistic than anything. I do think AI is going to be very similar to what Google has done to the industry or what social did to the industry. I firmly believe that if we don't think about AI in that way and we just think of it as an opportunity in every way, I don't think we will be successful in the industry. I think we will do the same thing we did with Google and social. If you remember Facebook instant articles or the wake of the internet, when every news organization just gave their content away for free and thought it would
Mm-hmm.
work. And clearly that's the reason we're in this position as an industry. The options, right, for the industry, as I see them with AI, are there's one option, which is continue to allow AI to steal our content and distribute it in different forms and formats with a strong editorial voice that AI has for free. That's one option. And I think that option essentially decimates the industry. And in my opinion, I don't see how you can generate revenue as a news organization without consumers coming to your site or consumers coming to some product that you own. Whether we can argue that that won't be a website in 10 years, but that we'll see what happens. I think the other option is that we think about AI as a threat and we consider that this content is valuable. There's a reason why 20,000 households in Berkshire County out of the 55,000 pay for news. There is a reason for that. They value it. And so I think if we continue to devalue our content, we're just going backwards. I think we're doing the same exact thing we've done for the last 25 years that has put us in the position we are in now. So I think the other option is that you block AI from allowing them to consume and then redistribute your content for free. I don't know what's going to happen there and what ramifications that's going to have, but I think I'd rather be on that end of it than allowing AI and specifically, Google AI search to consume and distribute our content for free, I think that's a bad move from an industry standpoint. Maybe I'll be wrong about that in 2 years or 3 years or 5 years. But for right now, I'm pretty confident that that's not the direction that's going to work.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I see it in a few different ways. On one side, the tools and like the efficiencies it unlocks are amazing. And there's stuff
Yes.
we haven't even thought of. On the other side, if on the like LLM data scraping side,
Yeah.
yeah, if you just let everybody crawl it for free, it's not going to go good. I don't trust Sam Altman as far as I could throw him. Just gonna throw that out there, or any of
Yeah.
the similar. Zuckerberg is in the same bucket, But
Right.
yeah, agreed. So good stuff.
Yes.
I've been asking everybody this, and you seem to you know be a forward thinking business guy, and you were just talking about the future. Flash forward 5 years, where do you see the Eagle? Um, you know, optimistically, realistically, however you want to frame it. And then yourself also. You still there? Like what are your plans then? What do you flash forward to 2030, 2031, and what do you see?
Sure. I think for myself personally, I plan to still be at the Eagle, provided nothing catastrophically changes in my life or the media the media ecosystem as a whole. I believe in this company and I believe in the challenges that local media has, and I believe that we can overcome them. I think we've shown that as an industry, and we've certainly changed how we train readers to value content. I don't think anyone 5 years ago would probably say that the Eagle would be growing digital subscriptions or doubling the commercial printing business. I don't think that was probably on anyone's mind, but we are a successful media organization. I believe that in the next 5 years, AI will dramatically change things, but I do think we will continue to adapt and change and make most of the right decisions and fail a lot and then figure it out along the way. So I do believe I'll still be, running the Berkshire Eagle. That is in my plans. I enjoy Berkshire County. I have two small children, one, two, a daughter that's 2 and a son that's about to be 4 years old. And
Oh yeah, you're in it.
I love the Berkshires. I'm from
Yeah.
the Berkshires. I believe in this community. I think it's a place to raise a family, and I love the organization I work for. So I do think I'll be around. And I do think the Eagle will be around and will continue to be successful, barring any dramatic changes from the robots.
Right. And it is happening fast. It's hard to keep up with.
Yeah,
Hurts my head.
fast.
Um,
It is incredible what's happened in the last year.
yeah,
Just dramatic changes in AI, and it's only going to speed up as they continue to train the
yeah,
the
yeah.
uh, the agents and the algorithms and the LLMs.
Yeah, wild times, wild times. Gary, this is awesome, man. Where can people find you online? What do you want me to link to? Anything you want to promote, put out there? What's all that
Oh,
stuff?
absolutely. So you can find me on LinkedIn at Gary Lavariere, and you should definitely check out our website and our products. And our Instagram and Facebook. We're launching a new vertical video strategy, which was funded by Lenfest recently, and we're getting our reporters on camera and doing some really fun stuff. So check it out and follow along with us.
Awesome, man. Well, thank you for joining me, Gary. Nice to meet you. Have a good day, man.
Nice to meet you as well, Paul. Thanks.
Yep. Yep.